Man, I fucked up yesterday.
Uh-huh.
You know what? We need to get you, Boone. We need to get you an anti-material rifle.
Welcome, sir or madam. Do you wish to purchase something?
Anti-material rifle. Actually, I need to read a book right quick.
Welcome, sir or...
Yeah, it doesn't really matter much, but still. Damn. 13K for you, just for you to have a gun that you love.
Fine by me. Yeah, you and me both.
You really prefer...
Not my strong suit, but okay. Yeah, you and me both.
I know what I need to do, is I'm gonna kill House either way. So I'm going NCR for the sole reason of making a perfect alliance.
Hey.
Patrolling the Mojave almost makes you wish for a nuclear winter.
Where's this commanding officer that's almost always out here at?
I'm Bitter Root, First Recon. You got a reason to talk to me?
Unusual name. Where can I find some work?
You a merc? Well, then I guess you want to talk to my... father, Major Daughtry. He's our CO. All right. Goodbye.
That red beret's looking good, soldier.
Daughtry. Are you Daughtry? Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're Daughtry.
That red beret's looking good, soldier.
Right.
If it's bad news, you can take it up with the colonel. If it's good news, it better involve some dead fiends.
You having trouble with fiends?
Damn right I am. And I'm paying bounties. I've got 3 fiends I want dead, and I don't give a goddamn how it gets done. That sound like something that interests you?
Yeah.
Good. That's damn good. I figure it's about time we got lucky out here, so maybe you can snuff one of these maniacs. First one calls herself Violet. God knows why. The name is the prettiest thing about her. Spends most of her time with a pack of vicious dogs. Then there's Driver Nephi. He's fast and he's brutal. Killed about a dozen of my men with a goddamn driver iron. Hence his name. And finally, Cook. Rapist, pyromaniac, and damn good chef if you believe the fiends we've captured. Probably the craziest of the lot. I'm not gonna feed you any bullshit. These aren't your common Vegas trash. They've all killed good NCR men, and plenty of mercs too. You go after them. Any of them. You're in for a hell of a fight. So, which one is it gonna be?
Driver Nephi.
You've got some guts, I'll give you that. Nephi is one tough son of a bitch. You let him get close, and he'll take your head off. My advice is this. Talk to Lieutenant Gorobets. He's in charge of Alpha Team, First Recon. Snipers. If you're lucky, you can lure Nephi into the open and the sharpshooters can bring him down. You bring me the head, you'll still get the bounty. It's a better bet than trying to take Nephi one-on-one, but it's your call.
Soldiers around. Where's First Recon?
Out in the yard. Gorobets coordinates our sniper teams. He's been gunning for Nephi for weeks now. Only thing he hasn't had is willing bait. Don't have enough troops to order anyone beyond the fence. Not anymore, anyway.
Got it. Sounds like fun. I'll get on it.
One more thing. If you want the full reward, you need to bring me a recognizable head. My superiors need proof they're gone. That means no headshots, no decapitations till after they're dead, and no damage to the face. If you want to be safe, aim for the chest. You bring me a head that looks like a rotten tomato, people will be doubting, and I won't be authorized to pay the entire bounty. Good luck to you. And don't get careless.
Ready. Gotta love. A good M1 Garand. Which one are you using the Phi? No fucking way. Yeah, no. Come on out. Man, if I had a missile launcher on me right now, I'd fire one right off into the center of that. You sure there's people in there? Need to save just in case he starts going for headshots. Hey, man, I fucked up the other night. So, I went to go make a milkshake and a pre-workout shake. I went ahead and made the milkshake, using the milkshake scoop. I go to make the pre-workout scoop. And I forget to change scoops. The downside to this is that the milkshake scoop is the size of 4 to 5 pre-workout scoops, and I always double scoop my pre-workout. So I had somewhere in the neighborhood of 8 to 10 servings of pre-workout. I felt like I could go fist fight a truck for about 9 hours. Not doing that again. Oh yeah, as long as you enjoy what you're watching, I'm glad to have you. Either way, I mean, as long as you aren't making yourself just come in and tune in, that's all I really care. It's like if you're just happy to be here. I guess I'll just take the buff out. You're the one whose head needs to be intact. Yep, your head's intact. You switched to the gun I bought you. I bought him that gun, modified it, and got him as many bullets as he could carry for 13,000 caps. Man, that's gonna be once. No, nobody. No, you're not climbing in my lap right now. No, you don't have any cable management. You just wrap yourself up and it'll rip all my cables out. 1 second. Are you telling me it's time for dinner? Is that what you're telling me? Well, go see if you want your food. I'll be right back. Just a second. But, yeah. Anyway, he was wanting his dog food. But, yeah, with the pre-workout, though, I consume somewhere between the neighborhood of 650 to 750 milligrams of caffeine in 12 ounces of fluid. And I thought to myself for a minute that I was drinking this, I was like, this seems a little strong. I'm like, whatever. Finished it off. Should not have done that. Yeah. I streamed until Walmart opened. Yeah. So so that was probably about 7:45, 8 o'clock. And I went to go do my shopping. I come back and I'm like, I can't sleep. So I just went ahead and did my house cleaning and everything because I couldn't sit still. Just too much caffeine to even try. So and then I think I finally fell asleep around. I'm not quite sure. I know I woke up about 7:30 this evening. What do you want? I feel that. It took me, like, when I first got back into playing, after, you know, like where I'm playing now, like 50 hours a week, it took me forever to get myself to start playing again. Like, part of me wants to go watch TV, but I know the moment I start, yeah, I feel that. Like, I could start, and then I'd go, like, maybe an hour, hour and a half, and then I'm like, I don't want to play no more. Yeah, I don't know what it is about that. It just comes and goes. Which is the whole reason why I move from one game I enjoy to the next. And then, like if I go to make myself play a game, I'll immediately follow it with one I love. Yeah. I don't know what... I've been told it's a form of depression when the things you love you just feel numb about. But like I don't know how to really combat that other than to listen to comedy and just have fun. Because apparently, there's apparently a few different types of depression. There's the kind that makes you sad that you lay down in the shower and cry, and then there's the kind that where you're numb and everything makes you angry, and then there's the one where you just go through the routine, but there's like no stimulus does anything for you. That one was one I didn't realize I'd caught myself in a rut with, was the one where you're just numb, you go through the motions, but no stimulus really does anything for you. I broke myself out of that by watching comedy until I laughed until my ribs hurt. And then I started feeling better. Yeah. Where I've got ADHD and a little bit on the side of a spectrum of some sort. Last time I had talked to a doctor, they couldn't figure it all out. But my neurochemistry is a little bit different. Caffeine is the only thing that's a stimulant that actually stimulates. Any other medication, you have no idea what's going to happen. So I try to do everything through music, things that aren't medication based. Because the results are just so off the wall on what's going to happen. Like, yeah, there's a chance it could help me, but then there's the other chance I'll be staring out the window just slobbering out one side, or I'll be so hyperactive that I can't do anything at all. Yeah, you just don't know what the hell, you don't know what's going to happen one day to the next with it. I get that, yeah. I've usually found that, yeah, they, back when ADHD medication and all the treatment was in its early stage, back in early 2003 to 2009, during that point in time, I ended up ran through a dentist, or not a dentist, a physician, that I later got press charges for being a, what's it called, where the doctor will take bribe money from a pharmaceutical company to give things out at random doses to log the stuff. Like, they had me on more than I needed, like way more. Something like 1,000 milligrams of lithium twice a day, 70 milligrams of Vyvanse 3 times a day, 50 milligrams of dextroamphetamine 3 times a day, guanfacine, and all that shit. Like, I mean, like, as soon as I realized that, I was like, I don't actually need this. I can treat myself with music and just multitasking when it gets too hectic. I just quit it all. Just, like, nope. I mean, yeah, occasionally I have moments where I'll sit down and I'm a broken record for a few hours. And that's maybe once every other week. But that's still way healthier than cramming all that shit down. But yeah, apparently what the listening to music is, apparently it's called music therapy, which I know it sounds a little ditzy, but it really is. I can listen to calm, soothing music, like anything like classical music, like Mozart or whatever, and it will result in a mellowing out effect. Oh yeah, I've got my stream up over here on the side there. I figured out how to mute it. You mentioned the other day that I could be able to do it that way and then see when somebody comes in. And I was like, that's actually a really good idea. It also lets me see if my stream starts stuttering. Because I went to edit a video the other day and I had to cut out a few minutes ago. I had to cut out a few minutes. Let's see here. Let's see here. Oh, I need to go sell this stuff.
Fine by me.
Ranger Badlands, Glassmaster.
Welcome, sir or madam.
Oh, don't worry about it. I'm not worried about that at all. I mean, I appreciate that you like it that much, don't get me wrong. But it don't hurt my feelings any. Besides, I'm sure it'll grow enough eventually where that'll be an option in the future. Like, I mean, on the YouTube side, I do have a way to get to Patreon, but I mean, I'm not worried about that. Because I fully understand the difference in wanting to, it's like send somebody like $5 for something once and not have like a reoccurring thing at like $1 or whatever. I fully get that. Let's see here. What else do I need to sell from you? Golden Gecko. But yeah, if I ever seem super scatterbrained, that's my ADHD showing. It's just 15 different thoughts, and maybe 2 of them came out. I'm keeping that for the extra points. Is I'm gonna go kill House here in a minute. Nah. I've seen too many for myself. I just focus on my own fun.
Welcome, sir or madam.
I'm
Do you
con-
wish to purchase something?
nah, that's just a hard no on that. I'm semi-convinced that my family's cursed. There's out of everybody between my mom, dad, step parents, step siblings, and siblings. Out of all of them, my dad is the only one with a now functional relationship with my stepmom. Everything else seems to start off sweet and rosy, and then it just explodes. And even when they go to look at it, they have no idea what's going wrong either. Like, I mean, it's like, it's not like, well, you could do this and fix it. They're like, I have no idea. It's just like my brain chemistry invokes rage when we talk. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. That's just like, if you go to you go to a relationship therapist and they look at it like, yeah, you could probably get past this by communicating better, or doing something here, or if you ask each other, what are you doing that's pissing you off? It's like the honest answer is, I have no idea. I look at you and talk to you, and all I can feel is rage. It's just like, I say it mostly joking, but that sounds like a curse to me, like somebody just said, ha ha ha! I get that. So, no, I was like, you know what? I've seen all of you have problems. I'm gonna just go have fun. And so far, I've noticed I don't get angry. But if I try to start commingling with people, I constantly find myself irritated. Usually the time limit that I can be near another person is about 2 to 3 weeks. After that, I need at least 2 or 3 days away from somebody. I can't. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm taking that as a sign, and I'm just going to go home. I'm going to play video games, and I'm going to do what I want to do. Thankfully, I really love video games. So, that's at least time consuming. Like, don't get me wrong, if I ever run into somebody and things work out, I'll let it happen. But given how much time it feels like most of my family's wasted trying again and again and again to make things work with other people, and it never does, I'm just like, that really feels like wasted time when you start looking at it. But I mean, I'm not going to, like, if something comes along and it works out, I'm not going to say no. I'll at least give it a shot. A 26. Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought you said you were gonna
This
get...
war's gonna change when the Ranger veterans get here. Soon as we see the black armor, we can all breathe easier. I see you're still alive, and that's promising. Any luck on that bounty?
Here's the head.
That right. You killed one of the psychopaths on my shit list. Let me see the scumbag's head. Well, well, well. Driver Nephi. Nothing to say, you son of a bitch? No tips on my golf swing? Lost a lot of good men to this psychopath. Morale's gonna be better now that he's gone. Here's the bounty I promised. I guess we can send first recon down to Camp Forlorn Hope. They need all the help they can get there.
Any more bounties?
Damn right I do. Who do you think you can take down?
Cook.
One thing I should tell you about Cook. Piece of shit is pure animal. He raped one of my snipers, and that makes this personal. Also, he's got a flamethrower, and he's damn good with it. From what I hear, he either rapes or burns every living thing he gets his hands on. Only one man's gotten close to killing him, and that's Little Buster. So he says, anyway. Maybe it's bullshit, but I'd still ask him about it.
Alright.
Bounty hunter. Talks big. But he's still alive, so he can't be completely full of shit. I think he's out in the yard, waiting to claim a couple bounties.
Anything I should know?
You've gone after the fiends before. I don't have to tell you to keep alert. Good luck.
You like the sight of your own blood? You thought you could hide from me?
I'm not hiding, I'm looking for you.
You like the sight of your own blood? Damn it, that's gonna stink.
All clear.
Nope, he ain't repairing that with that. That's for sure. What the hell? Do you all have a weapon I'm not seeing? Good lord, you came all the way to me, huh? Frag grenade. Alright, Ben, we're close, and I know you like to go headshots, so we saving right quick. Ready? I won't take no offense to it. Hopefully I get tired enough to go to sleep soon. I have to be awake for work in 11-ish hours, and I am wide awake. I think some of that caffeine's still flowing in me. Ha! Gotcha!
Eat this.
Make them disappear, Boone.
All mine. You're mine.
Pull the cube. Nope. Not interested.
You're mine.
Killed before I could even fire. Do I not have any whiskey? How do I not have any whiskey? I almost always carry alcohol. Ah, it takes 2 beers. Really? Plus 6 HP for 1 minute for cooked stew? That's impressive. Where's this door go?
Got any more good news for me?
Yep.
You killed another one. Let me have a look at the head. Yeah, that's Cook. Ugh, did he always smell like this, even before he was dead? And the fiends let this guy touch their food? Well, this is payback for at least one of my troopers. She'll be glad to know he's dead. Here's your caps. That's 2 psychopaths dead. If you can bring down the third, there's a bonus in it for you.
Alright, I'll go after Violet.
Violet it is. Wish I could give you more advice on how to bring her down, but we know less about her than the other 2. Just watch out for the dogs. She raises them herself. Might as well be their mother and never leave her side.
Oh, that made me think of something else. I don't want to share that thought. Nope. Repressing that memory. Or thought.
Good question. Fiend territory is southeast of here, but they range all over the area. None of them stays in any one place for long.
Alright. So, you know how the dogs are all protective of her. Assuming that it's not because that she raised them and fed them. Most animals, especially in pack mentality, protect their mate, if you get where that's implied. This is the wasteland and people are fucked up, so that wouldn't surprise me at all.
Welcome, sir or madam. Do you wish to purchase something?
Oh, man. Uh-huh. Yeah, that's a thought that came in my head and I couldn't get it out before the visual image popped up, and I was like, ugh, nope. Let's see here. Ammo. We'll see if there's any more 50s for Boone. Yeah! Just giving him some explosive ammo. Oh god, please not the hiccups. That's more weight than I thought there should be. Uh-huh. See, what made that worse is it was compounding with the fact that there's no running water or showers. So that led to me imagining that one after the other with it stewing. So that's why I was like, please no! I gotta change the subject. No! Please don't tell me you got a headshot, Boone. Yeah, I gotta go back though, cause Boone just annihilated her from existence. That's what we need to do, but we need the brain intact, Boone. Okay. Set up, because I'm gonna have to rapid tap. I'll be taking implant ZRX after this. I can waste my turbo. That's one of those things that I can't logic any consent. Like, I can fully understand somehow somebody's, brain getting the affection crosswires mixed up, but there's no way for me to accept that where there's just no way I can logic a consent. Because I look at animals that have about the same mentality of a 4-year-old. I just can't envision. It just lines up to like pedophilia to me, even if you could. Like, I mean, I get some people, I get like, you get affection, you get the rubbing, you get the affection from, petting on them and all that, but and I can see how somebody that's never had intimacy before can get that crosswire, but just because I get how it can happen, does not mean I condone the action of it. Because, like I said, it gets back to like the mentality of the 4-year-old, and I just no. Because I mean, even to me, like even the smartest animals out there are still like rambunctious teenagers. So, like, even if you could do an elephant, because, elephants are smart, they're still, to me, that they still have the mentality of a level of a teenager. And, like that comedy skit, you can't distinguish between, pedophile, hebephile, and all those others that sounding like a pedophile. So it just all goes into the same line. Just no. What was the name of the person that holds the clock saying, "Stop it, it's time to get some help"? But no, full send, I would not judge somebody if they went to a psychiatrist and said, "Hey, I have no idea why this crosswire's here. It disgusts me. Please fix it." Because to me, that's the right thing to do in that situation. If you're sick, you go to a doctor. That includes for crosswires in your brain that should not be there. Alrighty. Boone, I need you to carry weaponry, I think. Or do I have something in here? Alrighty, I appreciate it. Let's see here. Gecko steak. Ah, 8 dog meat. That's where it's at. I was carrying over 20-something pounds of ammo that I'm not even using. Ugh! Oh, it's about time for my first stretch.
Patrol. Still working on that last bounty?
Here you go.
If that's true, that'd be the last of them. God damn it. That's Violet, all right. You've made me one happy son of a bitch, you know that? Here, this is the bounty I put on her head. It's yours. You've been one hell of a stroke of good luck, you know that? Those 3 scumbags probably killed 20 NCR troopers. And you bring them down alone. Wish I had a few grunts as good as you. Damn good working with you.
Man, my skills are all much higher than I thought they would get. Come to me and plant GRX. What do you mean I can't hotkey it? Oh.
Evening.
Good Lord.
Listen, asshole, I know you're not really an NCR health inspector, so you can cut the restaurant critique routine. And I want my 50 caps back. Because I looked it up, and there ain't no disease called colorectal implosion syndrome.
God!
So I paid you to look the other way for nothing.
That sounds like something to get from Taco Bell.
You're not. Oh, wow, I'm sorry. You look just like... Never mind, sorry. So what can I serve you up?
Get something to eat.
Oh, yeah, you can order up anything you want. As long as it's corn or beans. Just kidding. Haven't you heard? With a few shipments from home and a little variety, the troops are getting restless for some quality grub. You can only do so much as a chef with just corn, beans, onions, and peppers.
Anything be done to improve?
Well, we haven't had any quality meat in months. Everyone in the camp just eating beans for protein. It isn't pretty. Some of my kitchen machinery is broken down too, so we've been eating mostly raw vegetables. And I'm desperate for spices or seasonings. Anything, just something for the general mood around here.
Okay.
It doesn't need to all come from the same source. There are a bunch of different vendors around who sell meat. Fitz, the Nashes, Crimson Caravan. We've never really tried to go out and organize deals with merchants to supply our food. Already having an overstock of food, we haven't needed to. But we really need some good old red meat on the menu soon. So I'm willing to divert some caps in their direction if they're open to supplying us.
Spices?
The Crimson Caravan would probably be able to arrange a regular shipment, but I don't know of any spices known to improve mood. Hell, we have a whole research department. One guy's even set up in the main terminal building. They're the ones who ought to be looking into it.
And food processor.
Here's the list. We've been scrapping together quick fixes to keep it running for months. I think it finally crapped out and needs a full overhaul. It's the goofy machine behind the counter in the corner next to the stove. I'd be much obliged if you could take a look at it and get it fixed up.
Alright.
I don't know. Try the various traders around the waste. Or the pawn shop in West Side might have some parts. Oh, I've heard of a place called House Tools you could check out. It's an old factory on the north side of Vegas. Just a word of warning, though. I hear no one who goes in there comes back out. Could be traps, crazy robots, or who knows what's in that place.
Repair 80, jury-rig the machine. Passing several broken, redundant co-processors. There's the
Howdy, looking for chow?
fixed food processor.
Amazing. I thought that thing was done for. That'll help me transform what I can offer the troops. I'll give you a little extra discount the next time you buy food from me. Thanks again.
Sweet, steady supply of water.
Evening. Did the Colonel send you? I was hoping he might have changed his mind.
You look upset. What's wrong?
I know. I've been crying. It's stupid. I'm supposed to be a soldier. My husband, he's a ranger, and he got murdered by a pack of fiends. Goddamn savages laid his body out to rot. Brass won't say it to me straight, but they mean to leave Esteban out there. I can see that plain.
It seems strange that the NCR wouldn't do their best to retrieve him.
Colonel says he can't spare the men to bring Esteban back home. And the fiends, they put all kinds of mines and traps around his body. Snipers, too.
And we're cover it.
Mister, I'd about given up hope. But you've got to be careful. I don't want anybody else dying on my account. Esteban's body is laid out between some of the buildings, east of the Repcon headquarters. At least that's what his squad mates said. There's an NCR position just north of there. It's on the way. They should be able to tell you what the situation is.
Listen, asshole, I know you're not really...
Okay, I've already had this conversation.
Something I can do for you? We're all impressed with the work you've done for us. Thought you might be able to make use of this. It's a key to a little hideaway south of here. We've used it as a place for rangers to rest and resupply. I thought you might get good use out of it.
Okay. Let's get this party started.
Oh my god, are you okay? You've got to get to a medic. Doc Kemp can patch you up back at base. How could you sacrifice your body like that? You never even met him. If the NCR doesn't have a medal for this, they should make one up.
I made a promise to Private Morales.
There must be some kind of code of honor you hold yourself to. You're like a man possessed. We'll make sure Ranger Morales' body gets sent back home. You don't have to, pick him up on your shoulder and haul him to California. Even though I believe you would if you had to. You should go tell Private Morales the news. I know she'll be relieved.
Let's see here.
Eat this.
So I'm curious, if I take 2... It does. So if I'm about to do something mega dumb, I can just cram all I can down. Okay, Boone, I'm going to do something really freaking stupid. I guess not just yet. I heard that pucker factor from a mile away there, Boone. Where's the den mother? Oh shit, I lost track of one.
Eat this.
Nope. How long until this wears off?
Fine by me.
I'm probably going to come to regret doing that to him. Oh my god, boom, no! What are you going to use that on? Do you even have Fat Man training?
That's close enough. What do you want with the Great Khans?
What are you doing up here?
Awaiting a delivery, but it's a no-show. I'm guessing that the death claws in the quarry have something to do with that.
I can help you with your problem.
Is that right? What's your angle?
No, I just want to help.
Right. Alright, here's the deal. I was expecting a shipment of chemicals. It's usually in a suitcase dropped off in one of the big machines up here. Because of the death clause, I have to assume the suitcase is still in Sloan. Snoop around the place and get it for me.
Got it.
Like what?
You need something?
I killed the Deathclaw Mother and Deathclaw Alpha Male.
Coming from anyone else, I'd say they were drunk or crazy. But that look in your eyes, I believe you. I can pay you, but it ain't much for what you pulled off. I'll get on the ham radio first thing and tell people all about you, though. You need something?
Hey there, what's new?
You see that egg?
Yeah?
I got an egg.
I can't believe you actually got one. Give me a bit to get the recipe set up, then talk to me again. This is incredibly good. Here's your omelet, and the recipe if you ever want to make your own. It takes a bit of skill to get it tasting right. Thanks.
Yes.
We can't. You need something?
I'm looking for a suitcase of chemical supplies for a friend.
Ah, yes. I think I know which friend you mean. Even if there weren't death claws in the quarry, there'd still be no delivery. The supplier, a guy in Prim named Tyrone, is a cheating son of a bitch who won't deliver even though he's already been paid in advance.
Okay, I'll go pay a visit.
Good luck.
Slave for a base, kill house with a 9-iron. Kill any Legion members with hunting revolvers, sequoias, breast guns. Okay. Named Legion members. Are there that many named ones left? With 5.56 pistols.
Patrolling the Mojave almost makes you wish for a nuclear winter. Hey, what can Tyrone do for you?
Much with your name or voice.
You trying to get me busted? Keep your damn voice down. Lieutenant Hayes already has his eye on me. Look, I already told Chomps the NCR is getting suspicious of all these misplaced supplies. Bigger risk means bigger cost. 300 caps bigger.
Sorry, but all these muscles make it hard to hear sometimes. What was that about risk?
Never mind. Take the supplies. All yours, friend.
Carl's been in a shitty mood since that big explosion at the fort.
What do you want now?
Got Kim's for you.
You actually came through for us. I didn't expect that. Anyway, the Great Khans pay their debts and don't forget their friends. If you ever come out to Red Rock Canyon, I'll put in a good word for you.
Hey, what's up?
Man, I want some freaking turbo.
Another satisfied customer.
Science of 50. So it takes a fuck ton of jet, Brock flowers, turpentine, and Castor poison glands. I have a feeling I should save because I think that weapon's going to backfire something horrible.
Yeah?
Share a whiskey with me sometime?
So the cub enters the wolf's den. What do you want, cub?
You tell me about your people.
You want to hear the story of the Great Khans? It's a long one, full of honor, glory, and betrayal. We have suffered, but we will regain our glory.
Maybe you give me the short version?
In a hurry, are you? Very well, then. The Great Khans came east, out of the NCR 14 years ago. We ruled the wastes then, and called no man master. But we underestimated the families of the Strip, and they drove us back to Bitter Springs, where we remained until the NCR arrived and drove us here.
What happened at Bitter Springs?
When the NCR came to the Mojave, we thought they would be easy pickings. We raided their caravans, their towns, their camps. They couldn't stop us. At least that's what we thought. They tracked us to Bitter Springs and surrounded us. When our children, our sick and old, fled through a nearby pass, the NCR gunned them down. It's because of that we have sworn to take revenge on the NCR. With our new allies in Caesar's Legion, we will crush them.
How did the three families beat you?
They allied with Mr. House, the self-proclaimed master of New Vegas. He supported them with the resources of New Vegas. Weapons, technology, caps. They were better equipped, and we could not stand against them. Typical. No reference for history in the younger generations.
I've come to ask the Great Khans to break their alliance with Caesar's Legion.
Have you now? Well, you're a bold one, I'll give you that. But why should I do this for you?
Caesar is only using you. He doesn't actually care about the cons.
Doesn't he? Caesar's representative tells a different tale. The glory of the great Khans will be restored, and once the NCR is pushed back to California, all the land from here to the Colorado will be ours. I won't hear any more talk against Caesar or his alliance. The great Khans will answer Caesar's call to war, and the NCR will pay for their crimes.
Hello?
Okay, I think I have to talk to Regas.
I haven't seen you before. What brings you to the Great Khans?
Opinion of Vinci.
That's a complicated question. They've done horrible things to our people, to be sure, and I've gladly killed many of their soldiers in battle. But I can't bring myself to hate them the way Papa does. Things would damn sure be better for us if they were in charge than Caesar.
So if you were in charge of the tribe, you'd fight with the NCR against Caesar if asked.
I suppose if asked, I would. But that's a moot point, because Papa's in charge now, and he's not going anywhere.
Tell me of Papa.
Papa is one of the best leaders the Khans have ever had. He's kept us together through all of our hardships, ever since we left California. Bitter Springs changed him, though. He started to really hate the NCR after the massacre. And sometimes, I worry that's poisoned his mind.
So, what do you mean about Papa's hatred?
Nothing. Forget about it. I shouldn't be talking about this with an outsider.
Soon Caesar will send it. So the cub enters the wolf's den. Well then, let me educate you. You want to hear this?
Do you really think Caesar's going to restore the tribe to its glory? He'll be made slaves.
Ha! The great Khans will not be slaves. Caesar himself has promised us the land from here to the Colorado and the freedom to raid as we see fit. I won't hear any more talk against Caesar or his alliance. The great Khans will answer Caesar's call to war, and the NCR will pay for their crimes.
True to Kaiser. I've been warned about you. You are...
Okay. I might have to look up how this one's done.
I've been warned about you.
What? So the cub enters the wolf... Don't you dare mention the...
Hey.
Let's see here. I'm gonna have to Google it.
You know you're traveling with a fucking murderer?
Huh?
Yeah?
Huh?
I haven't seen you before. What brings you to the Great Khans? That's a complicated question. They've done horrible things to our people, to be sure, and I've gladly killed many of their soldiers in battle. But I can't bring myself to hate them the way Papa does. Things would damn sure be better for us if they were in charge than Caesar. I suppose if asked, I would. But that's a moot point, because Papa's in charge now, and he's not going anywhere.
Huh? So the cub enters the wolf's den?
I heard you try to convince Papa Khan not to join with Caesar's Legion. I'd like to talk to you about that for a moment.
Okay.
You want to convince Papa not to ally with Caesar, right? Trust me, you'll get nowhere just talking to him about it. He's fixated on restoring the glory. Papa can be a stubborn man, but he's not a tyrant. If you can convince all of us that allying with Caesar is a bad idea, Carl talks prettily about the honor and nobility of the great Khans, but maybe you could find... You honor the great...
Okay. I know where to start here.
You should have been with us in our glory days. You'd have loved it. So the cub enters the wolf's den. What do you want, cub?
Who are you?
You march all the way out to Red Rock Canyon, enter my home as bold as you please, and you have no idea who I am? You've got guts, I'll give you that. Well then, let me educate you. I am the chief of the great Khans. The Khan of Khans, if you like. This is my tribe, and these are my people.
You tell me of your people?
You want to hear the story of the great Khans? It's a long one, full of honor, glory, and betrayal. We have suffered, but we will regain our glory.
Maybe short version.
In a hurry, are you? Very well, then. The great Khans came east, out of the NCR 14 years ago. We ruled the wastes then, and called no man master. But we underestimated the families of the Strip, and they drove us back to Bitter Springs, where we remained until the NCR arrived and drove us here.
How did they defeat you?
They allied with Mr. House, the self-proclaimed master of New Vegas. He supported them with the resources of New Vegas. Weapons, technology, caps. They were better equipped, and we could not stand against them.
Bitter Springs?
When the NCR came to the Mojave, we thought they would be easy pickings. We raided their caravans, their towns, their camps. They couldn't stop us. At least that's what we thought. They tracked us to Bitter Springs and surrounded us. When our children, our sick and old, fled through a nearby pass, the NCR gunned them down.
Doesn't sound like something the NCR would do. That's horrible.
It's because of that we have sworn to take revenge on the NCR. With our new allies in Caesar's Legion, we will crush them.
Let's talk about something else.
Typical. No reference for history in the younger generations.
I've come to ask the Khans to break their alliance with the Legion.
Have you now? Well, you're a bold one, I'll give you that. But why should I do this for you?
They'll be made slaves.
Ha! The great Khans will not be slaves. Caesar himself has promised us the land from here to the Colorado and the freedom to raid as we see fit. I won't hear any more talk against Caesar or his alliance. The great Khans will answer Caesar's call to war, and the NCR will pay for their crimes.
What? I haven't seen you before. What brings you to the Great Khans?
What's your opinion of NCR?
That's a complicated question. They've done horrible things to our people, to be sure, and I've gladly killed many of their soldiers in battle. But I can't bring myself to hate them the way Papa does. Things would damn sure be better for us if they were in charge than Caesar.
So if you were in charge of tribe, you would you'd fight against... So if you were in charge of tribe, you'd fight with NCR against Legion?
I suppose if asked, I would. But that's a moot point, because Papa's in charge now, and he's not going anywhere.
Bye.
Until next time.
Seems like everybody with a stake in the Mojave is gearing up for something.
You honor the great... I heard you try to convince Papa Khan not to join with Caesar's Legion. I'd like to talk to you about that for a moment.
What did you have in mind?
You want to convince Papa not to ally with Caesar, right? Trust me, you'll get nowhere just talking to him about it. He's fixated on restoring the glory of the great Khans, and he sees Caesar as the path to that restoration.
What should I do?
Papa can be a stubborn man, but he's not a tyrant. He listens to his tribe, and to 4 voices in particular. Me, Jack, Diane, and Melissa. If you can convince all of us that allying with Caesar is a bad idea, you might be able to sway him.
Aren't you already convinced if we're having this conversation?
I have my doubts about Caesar, yes, but I won't publicly go against Papa Khan based on nothing more than doubts. I've heard rumors that tribes who aligned with Caesar in the past were torn apart and reduced to slaves. Prove it, and I'll back you.
How would I convince Jack and Diane?
You'd have to talk to them, but those 2 have been thick as thieves since they were kids. Convince one, and the other will come around.
Melissa?
Ah, Melissa. She's a bit of a dreamer. Last time she was in camp, Carl filled her head with stories of serving the Legion as a speculatore. Personally, I've never seen a woman in Legionnaire's armor, so I have my doubts.
Okay.
Good. Oh, one more thing. Caesar's representative, Carl, has become fast friends with Papa. Carl's the one who has him so fixated on this alliance. You'll probably have an easier time of things if you can find a way to get him out of the picture.
And I would do that.
Carl talks prettily about the honor and nobility of the great Khans, but I suspect his actual opinion is less flattering. Maybe you could find something he wrote that expresses that opinion, or trick him into losing his cool in the longhouse right in front of Papa.
I'll keep that in mind.
I would too, if I were you.
Papa says cut off the head and the snake will die.
Caesar's veterans will arrive from Arizona soon, and there will be no stopping our victory.
I've been wondering why you don't petition the Khans for membership as a show of allegiance.
Join? Oh, no, I simply couldn't. That is, I'm not worthy of such an honor.
Meeting people, where's it at?
Yeah?
Caesar's veterans will arrive from Arizona soon, and there will be no stopping our victory.
I've been wondering why you don't petition the Khans for membership as a show of allegiance.
Join? Oh, no, I simply couldn't. That is, I'm not worthy of such an honor.
But surely a warrior in service of the glorious Caesar is the equal of any tribe's finest.
Of course I am. That is to say, Caesar has many fine warriors, and I wouldn't wish to compare them to the great Khans.
Well spoken, you win this round.
Win? I wasn't aware we were competing. My name is Carl. Glorious Caesar has sent me as an emissary to the great Khans as a token of our alliance. Though they have been cruelly oppressed by the NCR, the Khans remain great warriors. The Legion is honored to have such allies in battle.
You should have been with us in our glory days. You'd have loved it.
Hey, what's up?
So about this allegiance with Caesar.
Anders got back a little while before you did. He told me what happened. If that's how the Legion treats my people, I don't want any part of them.
Okay. Anything else on the matter?
Don't worry, Jack and I have talked it over. We'll talk up the idea of breaking the alliance. Jack handles the small-time purchases. You should talk to him unless you're looking for a major shipment.
I am.
Anything else?
Like 500 vials of jet.
Hey, what's up?
I'm here to ask you to publicly oppose Papa Khan's alliance.
Oh, it's cool, man. Diane passed me the haps on that fandango with Anders. I got your back.
How's it going?
Regis says I should talk to you about speaking against Caesar.
You can ask, but why would I do that? Carl told me all about the life in the Legion. He says I've got all the makings of a speculatory.
Did he also tell you women aren't permitted to serve?
What? No, What do you mean aren't allowed to serve? Why would he lie about that?
If the Great Khans join the Legion, you'll be sold as a slave, an officer's wife if you're lucky.
That lying little weasel. I almost fell for it too. All right, you've got a deal. You can tell Papa I won't support an alliance.
Well, there is one way for me to get a metric shitload of turbo.
We take this boat. It's probably the last one we ever take. I'm ready for that. Are you?
I'm ready. Caesar won't know what hit him.
That's what the scope's for.
Boone, you kind of concerned me carrying a fat man on your back.
Another kill. You like that?
Glad I saved. Okay. Wait, why am I even going here? You are terrified of that.
Fine by me.
Then we're going to part ways for a second.
What is it? I'll make my way there.
I'm going to fast travel.
Will Sir be staying for any... Will Sir be staying for any...
Let me see your... Cazador. And Turpentine.
Will Sir be staying for any...
Is it time?
Yep.
It's hard to sleep in this place, I tell you. Last night some girl was pounding on my door all night.
Help you? It's good to have a friend of the NCR here. What can I do for you?
You mentioned another assignment.
So I did. As you may have noticed, our position here in New Vegas is tenuous. We've made great strides, sure, but the NCR is not welcomed here, merely tolerated. And even then, not by everyone. We've had reports of violence against NCR citizens in a neighborhood just to the northeast called Freeside. Ever been there?
Yeah, I have. It's a slum.
I'm inclined to agree, but it's a slum with NCR citizens in it. And as such, it falls under my jurisdiction. Violence is something of a way of life there, but there's been a disturbing rise in the number of attacks on our people lately. More worrying is the fact that our sources suggest the violence is being perpetrated by the gang that runs the place, the Kings. I need someone to look into this that won't attract attention. Would you be interested?
Sure.
Good. Our men have come up with 2 different plans for seeing an end to the violence. First, our sources have tracked most of the attacks back to a king named Pacer. The consensus is that the violence will stop if he's removed. The problem is we can't simply kill him. In the current climate, the NCR would likely be blamed for his death. There is an alternative option, but my sources feel that getting rid of this Pacer fellow is our best shot.
I can't just kill him. What do you want me to do?
Make it look like an accident, or pin the deed on someone else. Look into this guy's affairs, and I'm sure you'll find something you can use. I'm sure something will turn up. If you think you found something but are unsure, report back, and I'll let you know if it's something we can use. It may be tough to find a way to completely throw off suspicion, however. In that case, we could take a different tact, but one that I at least have more experience with: diplomacy. If we can't go after the man responsible, we'll simply appeal to the man above him. The Kings, including our friend Pacer, report to the leader of their gang, a man who calls himself the King. He's Caucasian, in his mid-30s, and extremely charismatic. It's that last part we're counting on. The Kings are a bunch of young hoodlums who aren't inclined to listen to anyone except him. Get him on your side, and the rest will fall in line. Go and talk to the King. Try to convince him to put an end to this violence. Pacer's a punk, but he won't likely disobey a direct order. The King might not be open to the idea at first, so you may have to integrate yourself with him. Do whatever it takes. When it's done, one way or the other, report back here, and we'll take it from there.
I'm gonna have to talk.
I wish you luck. If you run into some difficulty and think you'd rather just take the shot with Pacer, that's fine too.
Hello.
We won't go quietly. The Legion can count on that.
Alright, Boone, let's try round 2. I got 14 canisters. Well, I'm probably crashing right here. Okay, now this one's going to require extra. I'm thinking Iceland omelet. Let's see here. Don't need either of those. Psycho. See if double dosing does anything. Let's see here. Victory Quartz. Mentats, because why the fuck not? Med-X. Buff out. Battle Brew. Jupiter Drinks. Atomic Cocktail. All 5 implant GRXs. Switch this back to battle rifle. Uncle Sam just died! Woo! All the combat stems! I think I went overboard. If you're trying to talk to me, you're gonna have to wait for the high to wear off. Holy shit.
Caesar's dead. Bet he didn't see this coming when he was having his coffee this morning. Still, it's not gonna stop the Legion. It might not even slow them down.
Still feels pretty good though, doesn't it?
Yeah. That was some kind of stunt we pulled. Whatever happens from here on out, we killed that prick in the middle of his fortress. Ought to give the rest of them something to think about.
Where are you at? Anybody else left alive wanna fuck around and find out? way you're running makes me think you found something.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
You're free. They're dead.
I doubt I can help you. I'm just a kid, you know.
Excuse me.
Yeah, what do you want? I'm not supposed to talk to strangers.
Well. Trying to aim for the deck, but oh well.
If the NCR ain't gotta worry about Caesar no more, it should worry about improving the lives of regular folks around here. The honcho of one of them strip families got killed right in his own casino. You know he pissed off the wrong guy. If Caesar's dead, why ain't the NCR taking care of regular folks yet?
Because I just killed him.
Welcome, sir or madam. Do you...
I will keep your armor as a trophy.
What is it? Fine by me.
Okay, yeah.
I remember the chairman from their tribal... You're becoming quite the political agitator. I can't say I'm displeased.
Have a look at this book and show you what happens to tribes that ally with Caesar.
Let me see. My God, this is even worse than I thought. Okay, you have my support. I'll tell Papa the alliance is a bad idea.
Anything else?
What do you want to know?
It's starting to feel like tensions are coming to a boil.
All 4 of my most trusted advisors have told me we should break our alliance. Maybe I should hear you out after all.
You should look at this. It's Carl's journal, and it's very telling of his true opinions.
Let me see that. Filthy savages. Probably have to decimate the lot of them? Are these the words of our friend, Caesar? Great Khans, drive Caesar's dog out of our camp. If he's too slow to flee, kill him.
There'll be a full-scale war soon.
You like...
Don't worry, Regis, ain't nobody gonna hurt you. Maybe a load of a junkie. Woo!
It's always a pleasure to see you around the camp.
I've come to ask the Khans to break their allegiance from Caesar's legion.
I've heard some things from my most trusted Khans that makes me wonder whether this alliance is a good idea after all. But I want to leave a legacy of greatness when I die. My tribe deserves better than this, cowering in a canyon and living on scraps. Tell me then, if I don't join with Caesar's legion, where will I find my tribe's lost glory?
Any idea where I might look to find such inspiration from the past?
The followers of the apocalypse keep many records of the past. It's been a long time since we associated with them, but they might have something. Until you do find me something, though, know that I still plan to lead the great Khans to fight for Caesar.
Papa says cut off the head.
Oh.
Can't run from me.
Come on!
Boone, I was worried for a minute there you were going to fire that fat man.
Are you here to drop off medical supplies? Leave them with the rest in the middle of the courtyard.
You need medical supplies?
Rates of injury and illness in Freeside are very high. Supplies don't last long.
What do you need?
Med-X, Radaway, and Fixer are Freeside essentials. I can't pay you for any supplies you bring in, but I could discount the charge for our services.
Get yourself a deal.
Just come see me when you've got some supplies to turn in. So far, the Crimson Caravan won't cut us a deal. If you can convince them or some other merchant to work with us, I'll discount supplies to you. You might ask around at Mick and Ralph's, or go see the Garretts, though I suspect they're too busy poisoning Freeside to help it out. What do you want to talk about?
I'm looking for something that can inspire the Great Khans. Know anything of that?
The Great Khans. Oh, you mean those raiders that used to clash with the Vegas tribes? Yes, some years back we taught them reading, writing, basic science. We hoped they would use it to make medical supplies, but they turned to drugs. I was never much involved in the cultural side of that project, but Ezekiel was.
Who is Ezekiel?
He's a member of the Followers like myself, but his particular field is pre-war history and tribal culture. I do recall him being fascinated by the Khans. He kept going on about parallels to some ancient historical empire or another.
Where can I find him?
He rarely stops in here these days. You'd do best to look for him out in the wastes east of New Vegas. He's always looking for new tribes to study.
Okay.
Thanks. Anything else?
3, 9. Really? It's worth that much? Medical services. There's some injuries.
You don't show any signs of physical dependency. Nothing I can do for psychological dependency, I'm afraid. looks like you took care of our short-term supply issues. In thanks, you can have a discount on medical services with me. Also, I would like to extend an invitation to join the followers of the Apocalypse. Your work here in the old Mormon fort has been invaluable, and I can't think of a more worthy recruit. Will you join us?
Yes.
Excellent. The followers' mission will be better served with someone like yourself traveling around the Mojave. As a representative of the followers, I present you with your very own lab coat. Wear it well, and may it aid our cause. Also, before I forget, here's a key to a safe house you can use to rest if you happen to be in the area. I'll just mark it on your map. All right, you'll get them at a discounted rate thanks to all the supplies you've donated. You don't...
Hello.
Really?
Our rangers are going to show everyone what happens when we're pissed off.
Oh, this Ezekiel, huh?
Those Legion elite troops are bad blood.
You look like someone with a question. What can I do for you?
Julie Farkas said you might know something about the Khans.
Oh my, yes. They're a fascinating tribe with a long and unfortunately tragic history. Their original incarnation, much farther out west, was almost completely wiped out by one of those itinerant heroes so common in the post-war years. Then, of course, the new Khans suffered a similar fate. Some say at the hands of the same hero, though of course the dates are all wrong for that.
Please continue.
Well, after they migrated to the Mojave, we established relations with them, but that soured when all they wanted was to make drugs. The NCR eventually took them down quite a bit, but the really fascinating thing about them is the origin of their culture as a whole. You see...
I'd love to hear your dissertation, but I'm in a bit of a hurry.
Oh, of course. I'm sorry. I do tend to get wrapped up in my own theories and forget that not everyone finds them as fascinating as I do. Here, I salvaged this book from an old library. It's a history of people called the Mongols. I think that's what the Khans built their culture on. You should read it. It's fascinating stuff.
I actually would have listened to that, thank you, game.
Ah, you're back. What else do you need?
Have a look at this book. If you want to see what your tribe could be, read about the Mongol Empire.
This is exactly the kind of symbol the Khans could unite behind. We'll begin readying the camp to move. As soon as Caesar makes his move, we'll depart. We will make ourselves strong again, and we shall conquer.
That sounds wise. I wish you the best.
If you should ever tire of wandering alone, seek us out. You might just have the makings of a great Khan yourself.
Something else you wanted? Bitter Springs changed.
Share a whiskey with me sometime?
Not now, I'm busy.
I remember the chairmen from their tribal days. They were punks then, they're punks now.
Nope, I don't need to be shooting nobody.
This doesn't rhyme. There once was a man of stout heart. Heart? What do you want?
Tell me what to come. What are you doing?
Nothing really. Just trying to psych myself up to try my initiation. Again.
I think you're trying to write some poetry.
Oh, you heard that, huh? Okay, so, yeah, I was writing poetry. I know, it's not a very great con-like thing to do. The followers of the apocalypse came to our camp when I was a kid, and they brought a bunch of old books. I used to read pre-war poetry for hours.
Why isn't it?
Have you seen this tribe? If it's not an epic drunken ballad of cracking skulls and hearing lamentations, they think it's a waste of time.
Sounds like you're not happy being a great con. Maybe you'd be happier someplace else.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe I can find my true calling, someplace they'll appreciate my poetry. Someplace like the old Mormon fort, maybe. Do you think the followers of the apocalypse would take me? I remember all those books they brought us when they visited our tribe.
I could ask.
You'd do that? Thanks. I mean, I'd go myself, but what if they said no? The cons wouldn't take me back, and then I'd have nobody.
Okay.
So the great Caesar is dead. Happy news, but I don't know that it'll make things safer. The rest of his goons may be even worse once they take power.
I'll kill them too. Don't matter to me. And a kid who's unsatisfied with life and the cons, would you take him as a follower?
We're always looking for new members. Does he have any particular talent?
He's a poet, kind of. He's obviously a bright sense of soul and loves literature.
Excellent. Ezekiel's been after me to find him a new assistant for ages. Tell the boy we'll take him.
Indulgent. What rhymes with indulgent? No. What?
I'll take you.
They did? Oh, that's great. Thank you. I'm out of this crummy camp. Hello.
Anything you need to talk about?
What is it?
You an outlaw now?
No. People die out there. Often enough that no one worries about blame. They're too anxious to forget it happened in the first place, I guess. Besides, I was on break when it happened.
Got some questions.
Okay.
Does the name Benny mean anything to you?
No, it doesn't.
Different question.
Okay.
How do you feel about the NCR?
Coming east was about securing the land so people could live without fear. It's not always that simple, but I think the cause is still right. And God help us if they lose.
Yeah. We'll work on that quest tomorrow.
Word is those tough guys Rangers are here. I ain't seen them myself, but how scary can they be?
And right in front of the door, I save. I'm gonna try to go to bed